The series starts off with the demon queen out patrolling her kingdom. She stumbles upon a slave and criticizes the slave trade running in secrets before adopting the boy. Years later, she has made Haru her right-hand man, and she tells him that she has done all there is for her country, yet she feels like there's something missing. After asking for his advice, the other tells her that she should marry, and who else but him. She is astounded at such a joke and instructs him to never attempt humoring her again. But the other continues that he wants 8 children. The demon queen gets worried that perhaps she didn't teach him properly and reprimands him that he is only her servant. However, due to her doubting, he doesn't care much about his status and affirms to her that ever since she saved him, he has his eyes only on her and wants to be her husband. Demon Queen realizes that she might have made a mistake taking care of him too much and letting him do whatever he wanted. To settle this matter, she consults her maid, Maybelle, who tells her that the other doesn't think much before speaking. However, even she understands that the Demon Queen has developed feelings for her servant and the other is too ashamed to admit that. To make her believe that she doesn't have anything going for him, she assures her that the age gap between the two is too much to even agree to marriage. After seeing the two interact, Maybelle can't help but admit that they are already in love with each other. Maybelle confronts him and tells him that he should be more serious than if he intends on marrying His Majesty. The other assures her that he is serious enough and that just licking her all day would be better than a 3-meal. If they are so in love, they should marry already, and the Demon Queen nervously tells them that they need to start dating first. Haru is shocked because he thought they had been dating up until now, but oh well, they can always start again. Maybelle can only perceive the two as a dumb couple as the two always go against whatever they had said a second back. Haru continues tending to her. However, this time the Demon Queen is flustered as she is aware of their mutual feelings for one another. After spending a few days being all over each other, the Demon Queen doesn't feel it is unusual, and the other quickly hugs her, stating that they wouldn't be able to continue like this if their relationship was that of a servant and master. Later, when she is about to sleep, the Demon Queen contemplates that it wouldn't be a bad idea to have kids with him and starts imagining herself as a mother. Suddenly, she starts getting embarrassed as she realizes that the two will need to have sex. Haru barges in and she is quick to make herself clear that she wasn't thinking of anything unusual. The other suddenly approaches her and wants the two to engage in intimacy. However, the Demon Queen is not ready for this sort of situation just yet and tells him that they should keep the marriage stuff aside for the time being. The following day, Haru notices that she isn't particularly happy about it and apologizes. Maybelle is assured that they don't need to think about an heir anymore, and the Demon Queen realizes that their relationship will never work as he is simply a human, one to fade far sooner than her. However, just for the time being, she wants to enjoy the warmth of his body and quickly hugs him. A little backstory of how Haru came to sleep alongside the queen in her bed. On the first night, she brought him to her mansion. He was having trouble sleeping alone and asked her whether he could sleep in her room. Since he was only a little human boy in the world of demons, she took pity on him and allowed him to sleep in her bed. Presently, she wonders whether she can embrace him the same as she used to before, but quickly remembers that the two like each other and shouldn't even be sleeping together. Suddenly, he wakes up and she responds nervously. The Demon Queen decides to ask him whether he feels okay sleeping together with her. She wants to know whether the other feels aroused as being together with her. He is a boy after all, and the other responds that her soft breathing is enough to make him excited and he so wishes to indulge in more activities. His response embarrasses her and now she regrets asking him in the first place. The Demon Queen heads over to share this with Maybelle, and the other tells her that she is the one who was doting on him up till now. Maybelle recalls how he used to follow her around in the initial days, and to her, he is still a young kid she cares for like a little brother. She suggests that they sleep separately from now on so she can get an opportunity to assess her feelings properly. Later, the Demon Queen informs Haru that they won't be sleeping together anymore as she fears that he will get too aroused someday and it will create chaos. The other agrees that he might make a move on her in her sleep but still is disappointed. At least deny it, dude. Haru understands her situation but is still persistent in sleeping together with her. He reveals that he wanted to forget his past. But the moment he closes his eyes, everything arises once more before him and he has trouble sleeping. The Demon Queen is disappointed with herself for forcing him to go out and gently caresses him, assuring him that he will always be important to her, be it as a servant or a lover. Now that he has got permission, he excitedly jumps into the bed and falls asleep. The following day, the Demon Queen informs Maybelle that she got to know so many things from him, and the other confuses this and suspects that they had physical intimacy. The Demon Queen is getting ready to attend the meeting when Haru starts throwing a tantrum, insisting that he get inside the meeting room with her. Belle and she assure him that it is an important meeting and there is no need for him to be present there as they are going to discuss some classified information. During the meeting, they discuss the illegal trades occurring throughout the country, and Belle is amazed at how calming Her Majesty looks. After the meeting is over, she apologizes to the Queen for instructing her to attend the meeting instantly and wonders how Haru will feel being alone like that. The Queen is also worried about him, and just as they head home, she is surprised that he didn't greet her. She finds him conversing with the chef, and the other servant is impressed with his cooking. Just as he sees the Queen, he instantly hugs her but feels that she isn't quite as cheerful as usual. The other decides to head to her room without talking to him much. This was an expression unknown to him, and Belle teased him for having a fight with her all the time. Haru feels that the Queen has realized that Belle is a better servant and starts pointing out her good qualities. Belle has started to enjoy the conversation until he points out how bad she is at certain duties and immediately shuts him up. Since he is too worried about him, Belle decides to consult the Queen regarding this, but the other is also quite depressed. The Queen is in sorrow because she saw him acting cheerful with another lady beside her, and all of a sudden, her chest started throbbing. Belle understands that they are just having a love problem, and the other wants to know more about this term. Since Belle doesn't want to reveal everything as it would make her feel like she is the one who is envious of the two, she lies that she doesn't do anything about it and advises the Queen that she should talk to Haru herself. She also affirms that the Haru who acts as the good-spirited one around her is the real Haru. Later, Haru is worried that she will get rid of him, but the other never had any intention of doing anything of that sort. She reveals that she was envious of how he was acting all joyful around someone other than herself, and he quickly apologizes for it. He is too embarrassed to look at her cute face directly, and after she finishes talking, he wants to kiss her, though the other quickly turns him down. The following day, they are at a function when a lady approaches him and the Queen instantly gets to his side to express her envy. Out of the blue, Haru suggests that they go on a date, but seeing the other's reaction, he quickly makes another excuse. The Demon Queen realizes that the other knows full well that she is free this coming afternoon, and would have a hard time turning him down, so she agrees to it. Later, while she is getting ready for their date and trying out different attire, Belle barges into her room and she tells her that they aren't going on a date, rather just an outing since Haru insisted. Even if Belle wasn't planning on finding this out, she has sprouted everything. On their date, Haru is walking too fast as he is too excited, making it difficult for her to catch up with him. After he suggests that they hold each other's hand, she is assured that he planned this all along. Haru is a bit too good at winning her over, and he somehow convinces her like a playboy. Since she doesn't have any idea where they should go, she asks about Haru's suggestion, and of course, a young one like him would want to head to a love hotel. However, the two head over to the clothes store upon her insistence. After checking out a couple of clothes, she is bored and now wants to head somewhere else, although Haru is busy appraising the clothes. Belle has tailed them as she is worried about her master. After they are finished buying clothes, she tells him to take her somewhere that is not weird, and he wants her to experience the atmosphere of a theater. He reveals that he always wanted to hide in a dark room and have a skinship with someone, repelling the other instantly, since he doesn't have any normal place in his mind. The Queen asks whether he wants to buy something, but he makes himself clear that he only wants to spend time with her. After seeing a certain dress, he wants her to cosplay and take her photos. As she is being too loud, she invites unwanted attention, and now everybody suspects that she is the Queen. Belle quickly instructs Haru to take her away before her identity is revealed, and he instantly carries her away. After Belle catches up, Haru asks why she has been following the two of them, and the other expresses her jealousy. The Queen is embarrassed that she might have seen her lewd cosplay and almost passes out. Haru prepares herbal tea for her before revealing the clothes she would need to wear for the function they are going to attend. The Queen is worried as she finds him too perfect and feels that she has gotten clumsy. Belle assures her that in no way is it her problem. Rather, she now depends on her diligent servant more. She tells her that she was too serious and cold before Haru came here. However, that all changed upon his arrival. The Queen reflects on this later and admits that she has become mellowed out. She resolves to go back to her former self and informs Haru of this when he barges into her room. Oh well, she loses the challenge on the first day. The following day, she once again promises herself that she will be independent, and the other wants to help her in changing her clothes. She makes various excuses, but the other isn't listening as he believes that the purpose of his existence is serving the Queen. Belle recalls how doting she was when she brought in little Haru back then, and the roles are reversed now. After much arguing, she allows him to change her clothes and suddenly sees the broken button on his sleeve. She decides to help him but ends up hurting herself and hearing a lecture. As Haru is not around, the Queen decides to take a bath by herself for the first time in many years and realizes how solitary it feels. She has become so dependent on Haru that she calls him out of habit, though he isn't there. After she is done bathing, Haru gets back and he is worried as something might have happened in his absence. Demon Queen informs him how different she was before meeting him, but the other doesn't care about his past, and the only thing he looks forward to is serving her and spending time with her. Demon Queen acknowledges how his impact has influenced her life, and he makes her tea once more. One thing she has loved most about him is his delicious tea. He confesses his devotion once more, embarrassing her. Demon Queen receives a call from her mom where her real name, Eleanor, is finally revealed. Goodness, thought it was going to be some huge spoiler the way they were avoiding mentioning it. Her mother is worried that she might not have private time for herself and asks whether she has a lover or anything. Instinctively, Haru comes to her mind and she responds that she does, though she quickly holds the call as she feels she will be bombarded with questions. Afterward, Eleanor wonders whether she should break her relationship with Haru or continue as their interactions have been too vague lately. She is having a mental breakdown when he and Belle barge in and the former reveals that he has won a lottery. While he is planning on going to the amusement park with her, Eleanor is busy contemplating whether she should confront him. The three visit the amusement park and Haru doesn't seem to be particularly happy with Belle's presence as he wanted to spend some time alone with Eleanor, but oh well, it can't be helped now. Belle tells him that it would look suspicious if people saw him with the queen alone and thus she needed to tag along. The three then discuss how they can enjoy their day at the park and Haru shows them around. Afterward, Haru pulls various tricks to get closer to hold her hands and manages to succeed. After he heads over to get drinks for them, Eleanor asks Belle what she thinks of the two. Of course, they look like some dumb couple, but she can't express this out loud. Eleanor plans to confront him and decide what they should do, but Belle assures her that there is nothing wrong with their relationship as they look physically suited for each other. Belle forces the two to confront each other and there, Eleanor confesses her feelings for him. As she is unsure whether such feelings for someone she raised are acceptable, she is continuously in doubt. But Haru assures her that their feelings are mutual, she is the center of his world. Now that everything is cleared up, he manages to convince her that the two better start dating and she instructs him to never reveal this to anyone. Later that night, Eleanor instructs him to start calling her by her real name, and the other's happiness sees him soaring through the heavens. Eleanor wakes up before Haru and wonders how she should address him when he wakes up. However, she quickly gets flustered when he opens up his eyes and instantly hugs her. Before heading to work, Eleanor instructs him that he should be aware of his surroundings when addressing her real name, and the other wants hugs so he can get motivated to work for the day. After he leaves, Belle enters the room to hand over the meeting's documents and the grin on Eleanor's face is visible as day when she thinks about Haru. Belle advises her that she should at least have some control over her emotions as they will be immediately discovered if someone sees them. Soon enough, Haru barges in and she is too self-conscious around him, prompting Belle to lecture the two of them. Haru gets another opportunity to ask whether they can flirt more so they can get used to it, but Belle advises against it. Eleanor assures him that he can do whatever he wants after he is done with today's work, and his mind only seems to have lewd thoughts. Haru is even more looking forward to work now and he departs while she now has to deal with more worries. Later, even though she wants to focus on the documents, she can't get her eyes off him. Perhaps her love has surpassed even his. Later that night, Eleanor realizes that she wasn't composed because of him, and the other reveals how good it is to resist the urge to touch her, though he won't mind being all over her. He instantly goes for a hug and she surprisingly doesn't resist, prompting him to inquire whether she is feeling alright. Eleanor doesn't mind embracing him in private. The following day, she instructs him to work separately and he is looking forward to meeting her later and letting himself all out. As he wants to recharge for the day, she hugs him, and the other servants are embarrassed that they aren't even hiding it anymore. Eleanor is having a good nap sleeping on Haru's shoulder when Belle interrupts as an urgent matter has occurred. Eleanor tries making herself clear, but they don't have much time for excuses, and Belle informs her that Manhwa, the demon queen of the eastern continent, has paid them a visit. In the guest room, Haru and Belle greet her, prompting her to comment on whether keeping humans as pets is the new trend here in the kingdom. As she is here to discuss important matters, she instructs her servants to get outside, though Belle and Haru are fine being in there. Just as Eleanor enters, she instantly gets off to greet her and reveals how much she has missed her. Surprisingly, she is nothing like the intimidating predator Haru had perceived. On the other hand, Manhwa sees Eleanor as her big sister and complains about how busy she has been thanks to being the queen. Eleanor introduces the two, and after she reveals that she adopted Haru and raised him, Manhwa instantly gets ready for the competition. The two are jealous of each other for being near Eleanor and make various comments, prompting Eleanor to confront them. Eleanor gets tired of their fight and shuts them up. To make a shocking announcement, Eleanor reveals that she is going out with Haru. Manhwa is astonished that she could even think of making a human her partner and runs off in disappointment. Haru volunteers to look for her and finds her outside where she complains that Eleanor has changed after meeting him. She informs him that he won't be able to look after her for long as he is just a human who will wither in time soon enough. This isn't enough to budge him from his affection, and he accepts his destiny as he is a human after all. Even so, there will be others for Eleanor after his passing. The two then start discussing their devotion to Eleanor and her cuteness. She was looking for Manhwa as well and was amazed that the two were getting along so well all of a sudden. Later, Meifa decides to leave but assures them she will get back soon enough. The following day, Haru is surprised that she has visited again, and the other tells him that she hasn't yet approved of him and that's why she will be keeping a tab on him for now. Haru delivers documents to her office and Alina notices that he is not as usual. Belle wants his assistance with something, and as she approaches him, he passes out. He has been working too much lately and Alina blames herself for not checking out her subjects properly. She is worried that something terrible might have happened while Belle assures her that he is just down with a cold. Alina decides to devote her entire day to looking after him and tells him that he can demand anything as long as it's not unreasonable. Haru wants to see the clumsy Alina for a change and wants her handmade porridge. Alina feels that Belle makes it the best, but Haru isn't interested in anyone else, so she agrees to see through his desire. After she finishes making it, he wants her to feed him, and even though she tries arguing, in the end, she is forced to accept his demand. He wants her to pamper him more, but Alina feels it's best he gets some sleep for the time being. As nothing is working out in his favor, he demands that she at least remain with him until he falls asleep. After he closes his eyes, Alina realizes how scared she is of losing him, and suddenly he starts talking in his sleep, recalling his mother. Haru has a dream of Alina adopting him, and as he wakes up, he finds her sleeping alongside him. The following day, she caught a fever from him and didn't feel so well. Haru is in good health and wants to look after her, but she decides against it as she feels things may not go well for her. Alina realizes how clumsy she is, and feels like she should learn to do chores if she is going to marry Haru. Belle doesn't feel like she is fit to work, but seeing her enthusiasm to be of service to her lover, she decides to teach her cooking. Meifa arrives as well, and she wants to partake in the activity too. Belle instructs them to wear maid uniforms, and they are about to get started when Haru visits them and he feels to be in heaven for having glanced at Alina adorning the maid uniform. Belle doesn't want him disturbing the three, so she sends him out to collect something. Afterward, she instructs Meifa to take care of things properly, but it is too late. Alina feels she has to do more than just cook and starts cleaning the hallways, but Belle doesn't feel it's the right thing to let her do these sorts of things. Next up is laundry, and she informs the queen that this is the hardest job. After finishing the laundry, Alina realizes just how much her servants work and apologizes for being clumsy. Belle assures her that everyone is like that in the start, even though she didn't have any idea what to do when she was first hired. Belle then assists them in cooking, but their clumsiness just disappoints her further. They finally manage to make the dish, but also understand how mediocre it is. Belle suggests some mantras and Alina takes it to Haru, where he thanks Belle for suggesting that she wears the maid uniform. Haru hands Alina a book to check out some of the bridal dresses and wants her to attend the bridal expo with him. She tells him that it will cause trouble if people were to find out their queen there, but he has already signed them up. As she has no choice, she decides to attend the event but wants him not to get too close to her as it will arouse suspicion. Haru successfully convinces her to hold hands with him, and the nearby couple compliments how cute they look together. Alina is embarrassed that she is being lectured by someone else, and is ready to throw a tantrum, but she doesn't want to disappoint Haru. After seeing such a grand party, Alina wants to arrange one as the ruler of the kingdom but worries that she is not yet fit for the task. As she is a foodie, she instantly starts tasting the food and Haru remembers that she has to try on the bridal dress. He is stunned at how charming she is, almost passing out for a moment. Alina wants to return quickly, but the other wants her to try various dresses as he wants to create a cheerful memory. Alina reprimands him for thinking like this is his last day, and the two return to find Belle disappointed. She had a self-reflection of her life after visiting her friend's wedding and is jealous that the two were enjoying themselves. Meifa suddenly arrives at the palace and reveals that she will be staying over there as she has escaped from her home. She had a fight with her father as he was continuously asking whether she is running the country properly. Alina assures her that her father is just worried about her, prompting her to question how Haru was as a child since she raised him. Alina reveals that while he was quite mature for his age, he often got kidnapped and she had to rescue him. She was so overprotective of him that she would beat the kidnappers until blood gushed out of their veins. She starts a long monologue and Meifa can only hear her admiring the human. Haru arrives and the two are all lovey-dovey over each other, prompting Meifa to get bored and leave instantly. Alina hasn't seen her parents in far too long and wishes to meet them. Haru asks about them, and she reveals that their personalities are a bit distinct. Meanwhile, her parents are on the way to the castle unannounced. Haru encounters Alina's parents a bit far from the castle and the two are stuck as they don't have any idea about the castle's route. Since they are in need, Haru decides to help them, unaware of their identities. After he brings them inside, they start talking about the queen and her father is particularly fond of her. Suddenly, Alina arrives and Haru is flabbergasted upon finding out who they really are. After she introduces them to each other, she informs them that she is dating Haru, much to their astonishment. Her mom doesn't mind him and is looking forward to him becoming their son, but her father protests against this. Since their argument isn't going anywhere, they ask for her mother's opinion, and the other doesn't mind them dating as long as their hearts are set out for each other. Her dad reveals whatever he had on his mind and Haru goes away. Alina is worried about him and quickly goes outside to make amends, and Haru assures her that he was just out to make tea for them. He is a strong-willed boy who is adamant about making her father acknowledge him. After they get back, her father apologizes for his behavior and Haru assures him that he doesn't mind a single thing. Rather, he is looking forward to the future with his father-in-law. Her father still hasn't forgiven him just yet for referring to him as his father, and Alina asks for her mother's help. She can't focus on her work as her mother is too clingy and she has to instruct her to go outside. Her father continues keeping an eye on them as he is worried that they might do indecent things in private. Alina is sick of them spying on her, and her father asks the maid about them. He is assured that the two care deeply about each other and are looking forward to their marriage. Afterward, the couple had a tussle and the husband had to leave. Her mother informs Alina how she met her father and how they had to face severe situations due to the strict rules back then. Outside, Noel runs into Haru and he tests him out to see whether his feelings for Alina are genuine. After he is assured, the couple gets ready to leave and approve of the young one's relationship. Alina gets a call from her mother, teasing her about her plans to take Haru on a date. As he returns, he reads the situation perfectly and is excited about their first date in a while. On their date, he wants the two to take pictures together, and once they are finished, he takes her to a park. The two spot a mother playing with her child, and Alina asks whether he wants to look for his parents. Haru doesn't remember anything before meeting her, so there is no need to look further in this matter. Upon their return, they inform Belle about their plans of getting married, and the other is hardly surprised. She just wanted their little drama to be over so they could start the preparation. With everything planned out, Alina resolves to get better and live up to everyone's expectations. Do you think it will be easy for the public to accept their marriage? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. For more, leave us a like and subscribe to our channel.